I have to confess to you, I'm a bit of an addict now that I've discovered that in my old age, but maybe you can help me with it. My problem is that I like to fix things. And anything I can find to fix makes me really happy. Go back with me in history to the beginning of World War II. And I'm about 9, 10 years old, and my father has taken me to a midget airplane race. You ever been to one? Nah. This is where little airplanes that are no bigger than this table back here in length fly around pylons in a great big open area, and they're racing with each other. Just one pilot, of course. I was fascinated with that. I thought, I would love to fly one of those airplanes. Ooh. It happened that my father had a long plank from his painting duties, and actually it was about as long as that, perfect for a wing for an airplane. I had an orange crate. Orange crates and oranges in those days were shipped in crates of wood, you remember? Great, some beautiful wood. Just the right thing for a cockpit. Then another short board for the fuselage. But the big find of my life was a neighbor disposed of their electric motor that had this beautiful carved, hand-carved propeller blade on it. Don't know why, but it was mine. So I mounted all that together. This is in our backyard with a big maple tree in the backyard. I looked up at that thinking, that is a bit of an obstruction if I'm going to fly around my yard. But I can fly around the maple tree and land in the garden back here. My mother let me borrow her Electrolux vacuum cleaner cord because I needed some real good extension if I was going to get up in the sky, right? So here I am in the orange crate, plugging in the cord. The motor starts, and this great big wooden blade starts moving around like that. And it got going faster and faster and faster and faster. And the faster it got, the more things shook. And it began to shake. And I was going like this. And I got the cord and I pulled it apart and I thought, that's enough. This is not, something's wrong here. Well, I moved away from the dangerous kind of things like trying to build an airplane, because that didn't seem very safe. But in our town of suburban Chicago, there was a lake behind the high school, Lake Ellen, named for Glen Ellen. So there was a nice shallow lake, and there were some rowboats that you could rent at the boathouse. I decided I'd build a boat. And in our basement, we had an old door that my father said, I'm never going to use that. Whatever you want to do, you can do. So I cut that door into 3 pieces: the prow of the boat, the floor of the boat, and the rear end, the stern, I guess they call it. And to finish up the sides, to make the side into a box, I got some shiplap from Stevens Lumber Company. I thought that was just the right thing for building a boat, shiplap. I got my little boat on top of my American Flyer wagon. This is one of those wagons you pull with a thing, you know. Tied it to my bicycle, took the boat down to Lake Ellen and launched it. And it floated. Ooh. Hey. Ooh. It was a little leaky. It was a little leaky, but I expected that, you know. I knew that I could go back home and get some putty and fix up those leaks. I got in the boat. I made a little oar out of a broom handle and a piece of wood. Put the oar in the water and started to pump, heading for the middle of the lake. The trouble was, it didn't go to the middle of the lake. It went around in circles. There was something wrong. Yes. There was something wrong. It was the problem was you have to have a keel under the boat. It's the part you never see unless you have a sailboat or something. But the keel keeps you from going around in circles. But I didn't give up at that. There were other things I built. I built with my father's lawnmower. Acquired a little half-horse Briggs & Stratton engine, and we have the only lawnmower in Glen Ellen, Illinois, that was powered. Well, except for Ed Damer, but he was the lawnmower repair guy, so we had a power lawnmower. But the lawnmower wasn't very thrilling for me as a bicycle rider as a kid, so I took the motor off the lawnmower and made a motor scooter out of it. And that ran beautifully, half a mile an hour. Anyhow, just hopefully you get some empathy with me in my journey through life being a fixing person. Now, through something like 41 different jobs I've had in my life, I now have a job as a handyman. And I'm happy with that.